my quote-unquote rescribing secret weapon, and thought I'd show it because I haven't seen it actually been out there before. A lot of times you see this Dymo tape stuff people use for rescribing, and I've been using it for years, and it's great and all, but it just doesn't do well on curves. And then I've seen people who stack up, you know, your Tamiya tapes in multiple layers and try to do it that way. But kind of by accident, I found this stuff. This is Nashua foil tape, and it is used mainly, you'll see it in your house, like for metal insulation or for roofing and stuff like that. But the cool thing about this stuff is it's cheap, and you get this gigantic roll. This is actually left over from when we insulated my dad's house. But I cut a little piece here, it's a little more easy to wield. But once you cut a sheet off, it's actually pretty decent size. You get a lot bang for your buck wise. And the great thing about this stuff is it's really, really flexible, and it can form around curves. The other cool thing about this stuff is the sheet on the tape is actually thick enough where if you have like a plot cutter, like a Cricut or a Cameo Silhouette, something like that, you can actually put this in your cutter, design some shapes that you want to maybe lay out for a scribe line or something intricate like a curve, and you could go have it in your Cricut, or your Cameo will go cut it. So I actually have a couple little rectangle things that I need to lay down here. But this is kind of my secret weapon to how I do most of my scribing nowadays, is with this stuff. The one recommendation I have for when you use this stuff is make sure you kind of lay it out, get nice and flat. It does get kinks in it and stuff. You know, you get this kind of right here, which is no good, but you do get two kind of straight lines, which is great to work off of. Use a pretty good ruler when you're cutting with it, and you're always going to want a really sharp, fresh new blade in your knife, because this stuff, if you don't have a sharp knife, it's going to kind of crinkle up on you as you go. But I'll kind of give you a little sneak peek on how I do this here. So I just need a strip. So I'm going to get a strip going here. I'm just making sure everything's square down here. Hopefully you can see stuff here. I'm not used to filming while I'm doing stuff, but that strip right there came off pretty well. There is an adhesive on the back. The adhesive's pretty strong, but nothing that's going to mess with us. Give me some of my tweezers here. But it's, you know, get your strip cut, and then the great thing is, like I said, hopefully I can show you stuff while I'm doing it. All you gotta do is kind of get your general lay down like you're doing with like your Dymo tape. But this is where it's how flexible this stuff is. I got this pretty good curve on this radiator here. Just work it along that line, and look at that. It's pretty much stuck in there. Now Dymo tape, you'd be able to get it on here, but you wouldn't be able to work around the cuts around the edge and the curve of the edge here. So you can work pretty decent curves on here for laying down your scribe line. So I thought this stuff's pretty good stuff. It stays, it can stay there for a little while. The adhesive's not so bad that it's going to tear you up. If you know, I don't know how it would be against with paint. I've really never used it with paint on it, but this stuff has been a very nice little find for rescribing, which is, I think, the #1 thing that I hate doing at my workbench. You know, if you get a chance, it's cheap. I think I got this roll for $11, $8, something like that. And look how much of this stuff you get. And then, you know, like I said, you can slip it into your Cameo cutter or your Cricut. I have a Cricut, but this is just a little rectangle that my Cricut cut, if I can get it out of here. There we go. Got this little rectangular piece that I need to kind of lay down spacing wise for doing some scribing on the bottom. But you know, your Cricut can cut that out and make things easier for you. If you have some intricate details that you want to get done, just, you know, pop it in your Cricut and you're good to go. So like this is going to go down here. Just get the spacing right. kind of go like that, so that way I can start working my way around with my scribing tools, at least get the general layout of how I want that little space to go. And you know, as far as for me, scribing tool wise, I do almost all my work with these Tamiya razor saws. So I have this straight one, I have this curved one which works well around bulges and stuff like that, this kind of long saw, and then after I do my kind of lay work with the saws, I'll then go at the trumpet or P tool and work my way and kind of redig the trench. But yeah, I thought you guys should know about Nashua aluminum foil tape. There's other brands you can get out there. I'm pretty sure 3M makes some type of foil tape. But look in your like insulation, roofing type area at your local hardware store or Home Depot, Lowe's, something like that. So give it a look. Hopefully it'll change your scribing life like it did mine. Yeah, hope you guys have a good night. Take it easy.